What's that? Copy.
Oh, I should pull that up too. What was I going to do? Yes, that's what I should do. Are we live right now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I will hold off on saying what I was going to say then.
Edit that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going
Okay. And there we go.
Oh, man, Zach's already in here. This is awesome.
Goes by a million, baby.
Zach, how you doing, man?
Great weeks. Great week.
Yeah, I have a lot of catching up to do. Going back and watching these matches. I watched Union Omaha, but I didn't. I mean, like I told you in that text, I didn't watch the rest of them yet. I was,
Yeah, I haven't watched a ton of them. I watched a little bit of the Tormenta Greenville match,
yeah.
and a little bit of One Knox and Chattanooga, but I was getting stuff ready for Easter today, so
Ooh, we got Tim in here too. I know Tim. Doesn't his hair look nice? And that polo. I mean, yeah, Brian's looking good tonight.
looks nice? Question mark. Yeah, I actually, and I got some nice silver dress pants on too. My wife bought me.
Ooh,
Yeah, she decked me out pretty good. Some nice Fabletics stuff. So it actually is comfortable too.
oh, nice. I've heard good things about that company.
hmm Really good.
And Tim, I'm channeling the Al Borland look again. I don't think so, Tim.
If I'd worn a tie, we might have finished. Maybe if Mo would have converted his penalty, which I mean, I don't know how he doesn't do that, but just wide. What are you gonna do if
Yeah,
they had chances and they kind of just pissed it away towards the end, for lack of a better term? They were really aggressive attacking, but I mean, when you go down 2-0, it's kind of hard to come back and get any good result. But I'll take the point. I mean, it's better than nothing.
I remember scrolling through Twitter earlier today, when I had some downtime, and I remember seeing Kyle typing out something like "for fuck's sake, Mo" or something like that, and so I had to go check out what he was upset about. And yeah, that I'd be
Yeah,
upset about that too.
chances, man. I mean, Tim saying, remember when I said that if you can't finish goals like that off, you aren't ready to move up? I was talking about League One, but yeah, it's true. I mean, he so rarely misses that to see him miss one like that in such a big moment is shocking. But
Do you think they'll offload him in the upcoming transfer window, the summer transfer window?
uh, I don't think so. I don't think they can
Yeah.
afford to. I don't think they'll
Well, I was
make the
surprised they
same
got rid of
mistake.
Sadio
Yeah,
Mane.
yeah, that was a mistake, huge mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't get rid of Mo. Um, then what they need to do is they need to retool the midfield. They need to get some younger players in on the midfield. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're even playing any European like knockout soccer next year, which is looking less and less like a chance.
They're still in the chase. I think they, even though they're what, like a point behind Villa, they still have what? They still have a game in hand, don't they?
Uh,
They might be
Mm,
tied with Villa now with today's draw.
let's see standings. Liverpool is
Oh, they're 3
3 points behind Villa.
but they have a game in hand.
Yeah, and 9 behind Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to catch up there.
Yeah, it could be UEFA or Champions League. Or not oh my gosh, what am I thinking? Not UEFA Champions League.
The Europa.
Europa, that's what I'm thinking. Thank you.
Yep. I would say they have a outside shot at Europa, but I'm not holding my breath. And honestly, that if they don't play um, knockout soccer, I mean, it's probably going to benefit them because they've been going for what 6, 7 years now of just tons of matches. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
Europa
true.
Conference. Yeah.
That's right, Tim. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, and my dog is going nuts for no reason.
Mine was too.
She's been going nuts all day today. Weirdo. Oh, well, what was everybody's thoughts about the well, I guess we'll just start with the one that we both watched and
Yeah.
Omaha and Fuego. I was happy with it. I thought we looked
Yeah,
pretty good.
I was definitely happy with it. It seemed like such an open game.
Mhm.
Uh, there didn't. I mean, there sure were some tactics involved, but I feel like as soon as the opening whistle was blown, it was just all thrown out the window because
Mhm.
everyone was just playing so fast and furious the entire time. Um, so trying to settle into any form of rhythm was just so tough. I mean, you saw Union Omaha pressing high, you saw Central Valley pressing high, and it was just they were throwing each other off and canceling each other out, really.
Mhm.
It was just a matter of who was gonna have the better counterattack.
Yeah. Um I was kind of surprised to see how well Central Valley's high press really worked on Omaha. Um but it wasn't anything out of the back, which I thought was strange. They didn't give the ball away in the back hardly at
Yeah,
all. They gave a lot away in the midfield, which was a little weird, considering how strong Omaha's midfield is this year, and
yeah,
just the kind of the veteran guys that are already there. Um, so I mean that was kind of disheartening, but I mean to their credit, every time they lost the ball, they were also coming in on the ball and trying to win it back right away. So
yeah,
wasn't a ton of easy chances for Fuego. I feel like Fuego, if they would have converted those some of those chances they had, this definitely could have been like a 3-2 win for them.
yeah.
Because they
I
had
think
one for sure that they just missed, straight up missed, um, and then two off the post. Like that, that's just a bad luck kind of night. That just as soon as you saw like, I think they hit the post once in the first half, and then at the beginning of that second half was that ball where he just overshot the goal. I mean, once you saw that, just not your night. Pack it in, try to salvage something, but they had
yeah,
hope.
and Tim is 100% correct here. He said it looked like Fuego forwards were much faster at times. I will 100% agree with that.
Oh yeah.
They were screaming around that field and causing all kinds of problems. When you have a first half where you have 6 shots inside the penalty area and you only have one of them that goes on goal, that's a problem.
Hmm.
They easily could have scored more there in the first half. And
Yep.
you saw a similar pattern in the second half. I think they only had one, maybe two chances on goal, but I think their chances were farther out from in comparison to the first half, and so they didn't do themselves any favors going into the halftime break.
Oh.
So, like you said, you're interested in going back and watching the midfield. I'm interested in going back and watching the defense, um, to see Palacios and Swahi pairing up there in the middle. I want to see some more of what was going on between them,
Hmm.
and some of those chances that were developing in the first half.
Hmm. It seemed a lot better in that second half, um,
Yeah,
especially before Bijev came in. But for whatever reason, I don't know why he came subbed on in the 57th minute. I mean,
yeah,
what that dude did when he came in, he completely changed the face of that game. And you could tell that they must have saw something and wanted to kind of go after it because they were attacking that side of the field that entire second half as soon as he got brought on.
yeah, yeah. I agree. He's one of those. He's a game changer. I mean, he really is.
Hmm.
And they brought in some players around him that are gonna accentuate his threats. And so for them to sub him on, man, I understand that was probably a load management decision.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but how are you load managing when this is your second match?
exactly. And and that's crazy. I mean, they probably had 3 matches in 8 days, seven
Hmm.
days.
Yeah.
So I understand the concern for that, but at the same time, it's early in the season. I know you don't want to get them hurt and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's your home opener.
Hmm. Yeah, and then Alex Ashton coming in and saying he missed the Open Cup match for what it's worth, but also not sure why. I I can't imagine it would be load management. I mean, Tim also saying they started late. Um, might be a load manage if they haven't gotten warmed up. Yeah, I could see that. Um, I'll open Discord, Rich, because I just got
Cool.
that text message too. I don't know, man. It's it's something.
And
Yeah,
you guys probably aren't seeing this, but I am drinking water tonight because I have to make healthy decisions tonight. So I know some of you out there are drinking alcohol. So thank you for joining the show and drinking alcohol while listening to us.
yeah, yeah. Um, so, um, Tim said, "What are your thoughts on the two or three penalties Fuego could have had?" I did say something in over Twitter about it. Like, uh, it was definitely. Um, I think the one we're talking about is um, the shove towards the end of the
Oh,
match. Yeah,
yeah,
that should have been a penalty, but
I should have been.
um, I mean, it happens, man. Like, if you're gonna sit there and try to sell all the little tiny bumps and stuff that you get, don't be surprised when they don't take the bait, even if it's a clear pen. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know,
I'm on.
what is up, Chip? How's it going, buddy?
Not much. I am just trying to put the Chuckle Master to bed
Yeah,
so I can enjoy my last night in scenic Colorado Springs before going to Akron, Ohio for the rest of the week. So, big stuff happening in the Nelson household.
yeah, big stuff. Trying to put him
So
down and calling in.
yeah, Chris, where's the binky? So I want you guys to rate my hot take that I shared on Discord today. So
Yeah,
I,
what
I,
it
I
is?
shared it not on your, I shared it on the UAR local one.
Oh,
So
okay,
my hot take is, and it's a hot take, which is why I'm saying it's a hot take. This isn't like one of those like, Omaha is going to be the coolest team to watch, like something that's like, well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. So my
sure.
hot take is that Steinwasser is going to be the leading scorer for Union Omaha this year.
Ooh,
Like I said, hot
Steinwasser
take.
as the leading scorer for Union Omaha this year.
So
Ooh,
I know that's a hot take, and I
it's
can walk you through it. But think, I want your unadulterated opinion, and then I'll walk you through my thought process.
um so
Like I said, it's a hot take.
yeah, what comes to my head first is I don't necessarily know that he's going to score a ton of goals, but I feel like he's going to facilitate a ton of
Mhm.
goals. Um I mean, you saw it with the Dos Santos goal. It was just a perfectly played ball. I think he has that vision to place those balls exactly where they need to be. I think he's going to score some goals, but I don't personally see him being our top goal scorer.
So here's my thought process. So my thought process is one, everywhere he's gone, he's scored goals in college,
Yeah.
in arena, everything else. And two, the man is just like always in the right place at the right time. And I
Hmm.
think that by being in the right place at the right time, he's just going to find himself on at the end of the ball a lot with an open goal.
Hmm.
And he just has such a great like he's one of the best off the ball movers I think we have on our team, and he just has seems to have really great vision for the field, and that's why. And again, it's a hot take, but I think obviously I think you would say like it'd be Meza or Dos Santos is probably like if there was a Vegas odds, it was probably like the odds on favorite guys, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, but I mean, I do see where you're coming from. I don't think that's as hot of a take as you think it is.
Mhm. It's not like I'm saying Buffalo is going to be our leading scorer, which would be crazy.
Right. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's a decently hot take for sure. Um,
Mhm.
but I can see it. I mean, we'll just kind of have to see how the season plays out. But um, just based on kind of what they've been doing too, he does get forward quite a bit too. So
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
it's been very encouraged. Last night was very encouraging. El Paso was very encouraging.
mhm.
After the Madison game, I was kind of like, I don't know, but these last two games have got me really excited.
Yeah, Omaha looks like a completely different team in these last two matches than they did in that first match against Forward.
For sure. But cool. Just wanted to call in and give you my thoughts. I got to go
All right,
finish
buddy.
putting Chuck to bed. So I'll check you guys later.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. So Tim Howerton does not agree with Chip's hot take here, saying he'll have the most goal involvements and maybe most assists, but not the most goals, which I agree with Tim on that one.
Yeah, if I were to choose who would be the leading goal scorer for Union Omaha this season, I mean, I'd probably have to go with Noe Meza again.
Mm.
Um, but I agree with you guys. I think that Steinwasser presses high. Chip made a great point that he has a great vision of the field. He knows where to be and when to be there.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's going to help his teammates, and he's going to put them into a lot of scoring chances. Steinwasser will have his own tally by the end of the season, and he'll be high up there. I don't know if he's going to be the leader though.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think that's a hot take though, because he's certainly going to be in contention
Hmm.
for the whole thing.
Yeah. I think it'd be a super hot take if you said like the league leading scorer.
Yeah.
Um, but no, he'll get a good tally. But I just also think too when you have Noe on his second year, and you kind of saw with his goal, his vision for the field and everything like that starting to get a little bit better and reading the game a little bit better at this speed and this level. Um, he's definitely up there. And then you have a proven guy like Dos Santos too. That I mean, he's gonna score. You just know it, and you can kind of see already from even though he's 6'4", he moves around like a much smaller guy with the ball at his feet.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
so I mean, getting around those two guys would be a huge feat too. Um, but yeah, I mean, he'll be up there, I think, as well.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Steven Dos Santos getting as involved as he is.
Hmm.
After Madison, I know that I was saying that I wasn't as impressed with his play, but he didn't get too many minutes in that match. But since then, I mean, he has been a
Hmm.
lot of fun to watch. He has that chemistry with the team now. They know where to find him, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Tim agrees. It seems like he said this year looks like a year where we could have 3 10+ goal scorers.
Oof, I hope so. Oh man.
With the defense that Omaha has been playing, 3 10+ goal scorers is going to get you pretty high in the table. Um, that's 30 goals. I don't even remember last year how many we had. Um, I can look that up real quick just to be.
So Tim, if you were to say 3 10+ goal scorers, who would those players be? Because I have an idea of who those players could be, but I want to know who you're thinking of.
So Union Omaha last year scored 34 goals.
Oh man.
So if we have 3 guys at 10 goals, you're
Yeah.
only 4 away from last season, right?
And I don't think we had any players in double digits last season, right?
Don't think so. I think Noe
I
was
think
the closest.
and I think he had 9.
9. Yep, that sounds right. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Noe, Steven, either JP or Steinwasser. Yeah, I agree with you, Tim. Yep, I think those are it. Oh, we
Hmm.
got Allison in the house now.
Right.
She sent me a picture of her beer and it was coconut infused, just rubbing it in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, she said she's drinking a coconut porter.
Very nice. Alex saying that's a bold statement. Better keep the receipts. Tim, we're keeping receipts on that. And Tim also saying 2 years ago we had 40 plus. Evan and Greg are still the only 10+ teammates in League One from that year.
Hmm.
Uh,
You want to come over here? Want to come say hi? Come here.
let's see.
Oh,
And now we've got a pup on the show.
yeah.
Perfect.
We got Roscoe in the house.
Roscoe giving some lovin's. Tim said he'll hand those receipts in triplicate if you like. Yeah, so in 2021, Omaha scored 44 goals and allowed
Ooh.
22.
Oh man.
Yeah, the next closest in goal differential that year was a tie between Chattanooga and North Texas with 8
Oh
goal difference. Holy cow, that Omaha team was good.
yeah.
But yeah, getting back to it too, the penalty discussion. I mean, Central Valley, too much flopping. And I mean, there's a huge discrepancy in fouls in this match too. So there was 33 total fouls in this match, 23 for Union Omaha and 10 for Fuego.
Mm-hmm.
6 yellow cards for Omaha, 2 yellow cards for Fuego.
Yeah.
This referee lost all sorts of control.
Yeah. I think that was the most surprising thing because there were a lot of fouls happening all around the field, and to see that many called um, in that kind of a ratio was pretty surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I. The crazy thing about this match is I don't think Omaha statistically played very well, and they didn't play to the way that Dominic has said that he wants to play. I mean, they
Yeah.
lost the possession battle 45-55, had significantly less passes, had significantly worse passing accuracy. But watching it, like the eye test tells you Omaha dominated for most of that match.
Yeah. Brian, pull up the outline for this week's show
Mhm.
and scroll down to Union Omaha's match because I included the XG chart in there. I think you'll be pretty damn
Perfect.
surprised to see the XG.
This It exited my full screen when I pulled up something else. That's weird. All right. So the XG. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that can't see it, the XG difference was Central Valley Fuego 1.77 to Omaha's 0.81. And it gets worse if you look at just the offensive G plus, it's 1.91 for Fuego and 0.63 for Omaha. Omaha was
Yeah.
better defensively. That's the only thing they won on the XG, but that's insane.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a difference, and I didn't think that it was going to be in favor of Central Valley. I thought it was probably going to be even.
Mm-hmm. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that a little bit closer too once it gets a little bit closer to the show too, but wow. That is insane.
And as
I
far as what I think Fuego's season is going to look like, having seen them, I don't think they're going to be as low as last season. I think
Mhm.
I'm not ready to say they're a playoff team, but they'll be one of those bubble teams that other clubs are going to be very afraid of as the season gets later and later.
Mhm.
They're going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of clubs.
Yeah, I think so.
But I like their style that we've seen so far. I think when they played in Chattanooga,
Mhm.
I mean, they were pressing high, pressing fast. What are you doing? Um, and causing a lot of problems. And so to see that kind of style be consistent from one week to the next, if they can carry that throughout the entire rest of the season,
Mhm.
they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, Fuego should be a nice surprise from what I thought they were going to be. We go ahead and look at the live table. This is a weird ass table, man.
Yeah. I think I may have found a statistic that we have not seen yet in League One. I'm excited to share that on the show on Wednesday night.
I love it. How do we have so many teams? Man, Omaha's gonna have a ton of game in hands again this year, and it's gonna get put into like the middle of a 3-game road trip for no reason at all, because they decided, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So Alex saying they had a lot of dangerous chances against a really good Omaha defense. Reminds me of Charlotte and NoCo in their first matches. True. I like that take, Alex. I agree with you
Yep.
on that.
I agree. Yeah.
And Tim saying if Fuego could finish, we would have been in trouble. True. Also true. Yeah, I think a better team probably punishes you. The worst part about it too is it's not like there's nothing new who could have done on most of those. Like those two that hit the post, I mean, it was just a better play, and he just wasn't in position to even make a play on the ball. So
Hmm.
they're definitely showing flashes. They're not going to be, uh, they're not going to be wooden spoon this year. I don't think.
No. Ooh, so wooden spoon. Oh yeah, I already know who I already know who I'm thinking of for the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunately, I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be Lexington.
Yeah. Um, that, but it's really weird saying that about Lexington because it's not like they've looked overly bad anytime they've
No.
played. It's just that they, for some reason, have like a hump that they can't get over and beat teams.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, too, I just watched the highlights of that match when I was putting the kids to bed, And I mean, Madison shot themselves in the foot in that match.
Mm,
That's another one where it could have easily been 3 or 4 goals for them.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, Tim, you're onto something there with Greenville. Oh man, they need to figure something out fast. So before the match started, when they released their injury report, they had 8 players on it, but they easily could have had more on that list if they, possibly included a couple others. Um, there are guys that are going to be coming back from injury here soon, but man, as far you have your players that are injured, and then you have the players that are on the field that are playing, and the players that are on the field playing have got to pick it up, and they've got to set the team up for success once those players do return.
mhm. They got a lot of figuring it out to do. Arksey's gotta be, getting his guys in gear because it's not a great look.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's quite time to hit the panic button, but my hand is moving toward in the general vicinity of that button right now.
Mhm. So, Greenville's next, let's just say 3 matches, they've got a trip to Forward Madison, then they're at home versus Central Valley, and then they go to Lexington for their next 3. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna kick it out to 5 because then it gets really insane. Then they have North Carolina at home, then away at Charlotte, then Richmond at home, then Knox, then Omaha. God damn.
Oh man.
They've got their schedule sucks. If
Yeah.
they don't get oh god, how many they're gonna have to somehow that's what, 7 games? Oh, they gotta salvage at least 4 out of those 7 to
You got to
even
at least draw the home matches. Or
oh,
at least I mean, man, I don't even want to say that. You got to win those home
you gotta
matches.
win them. Yeah, if you win all your home matches and draw your aways, you're fine, but
Yeah.
they don't even look like a team that can do it. Not right now, anyway.
And is Tormenta back, or is Greenville just bad right now? Um, I think Tormenta just has Greenville's number.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm quite ready to say Tormenta's back, because, like I said, Greenville had 8 players that were injured
Mhm.
heading into that match, and so Tormenta had a situation that they could easily take advantage of, and they did. So I don't know that Tormenta's back. I'll lean more toward. I don't want to say Greenville's just bad though. Greenville is just down in the dumps right now. Um, yeah, they're. I mean, they're at the point now where they're playing players out of position. I mean, Tyler Pollock was playing center back,
Mhm.
and he's usually their left back. So it's just, yeah, they have a lot of injuries they need to heal up, and man, they have some ground to make up too.
I mean, I'll say it right now, Greenville is a bad team. The if this was their lineup for the whole season, they would definitely be wooden spoon contenders because this team just doesn't look good. It doesn't look together. It doesn't look jointed. Nothing's there for them. It's just ugly style of play, which is not something you see with a John Harkes team. But like you said, that's probably due to all the injuries and just guys not being there. But
Yeah,
right now, that is a bad team.
yeah. And Soup Loops coming in saying, I don't know if it's just me, but most of the league has had some very crisp passing, at least in short spurts. It doesn't seem like everyone is relying on long balls to move up the field. I 100% agree with that.
Hmm.
And it's been so much fun to watch because, man, the long balls over the top and people just running straight down the field. That's your like 90s era US soccer style. And it was just so old. It gets old to watch very quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, that is kind of funny coming from a Union Omaha fan though, because I mean
Yeah,
that's been their bag the last 3 seasons, and now you
yeah.
switch to this. I will say though, you are definitely onto something because this is the most fun I've had watching Union Omaha since that maybe the end of the 2021 campaign when it was starting to get close. You kind of figured Omaha was going to start to make a really good run. Um,
Mhm.
that was fun to watch more though because it almost looked like a sure thing that Omaha was going to win the title anyway. Um, it's definitely weird seeing them play out of the back as much as they do. So you go from I went from watching their match last night to watching Liverpool this morning, and it's a very similar style of play. They don't want to rush the ball movement up. They play through the midfield, and if it's not there, they have no problem passing it all the way back, even if they're in the opponent's box. If
Mhm.
it's just not there, they don't care. They'll recycle it and try to go again. So it definitely makes me a little unnervy though, because a lot of the camera angles and stuff that League One employs and a lot of the camera operators are not as quick as some of the guys you're used to seeing.
Yeah,
So some of those passes going in, you have no idea where they're going, and
yeah,
could be hugely detrimental.
yeah. I think we'll see teams like Northern Colorado play very direct, and then you'll see other teams who will carry more possession. And I mean, you're seeing that with Ford Madison. You're seeing that with, even you're seeing elements of that with Chattanooga. So it's nice to see that clubs are resorting to a lot more fundamentals, a lot more technique versus, I don't know, power and speed.
Hmm.
I like seeing the skill based stuff. That's fun to watch.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
I
you
don't
probably go ahead, Rich.
I don't want to watch a track meet all day.
Right. I think you kind of have to do that this year because
Yeah.
just the talent, the amount of talent that got brought in over this offseason, or brought in or shifted around, like the teams are significantly more even now as far
Hmm.
as just raw talent. So, which is a good thing. I mean, especially if you want the longevity of the league, you're going to see that style more the higher up in the pyramid you go. So, if we can implement that in League One, that's only going to help the guys that are trying to move up. And it makes the table more fun to watch because everybody's more even.
Yep.
But
And
Tim,
Tim
yep.
saying quick stats: Greenville has 29 shots this year in 2 matches, only 4 on target. And
Oof.
I know a lot of you probably saw that tweet. If you did not, after I think it was late Saturday night, Kaylor Hodges sent out a tweet that said, "I think it's time we start having a chat or a discussion or something like that about Harks,"
Mm.
and that got some people riled up. Um, I think it's an interesting topic to go over, though. I know I sent you, Brian, a text about that.
Hmm.
Oh, Tim, what's a tweet? Yeah, what do they call it on Mastodon? Toots. Okay. I've never heard that one before. Okay.
I don't know. This is it's my computer deciding now. It just is like, hey, guess what? You don't need to see any of your notifications from Twitter.
Yeah, Alex, I agree with you. Way too early to question Harks with all the injuries. I agree. Once they get those injuries behind them and they start playing, then we can start having that discussion. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think Kaler, when he sent that out, riled up a lot of people and people were immediately jumping behind Greenville, jumping behind Harks and defending them, even if they were fans from other clubs. So I think that spoke volumes to how people view Greenville's current situation.
Yeah. I was one of those people too. I don't think it's time to start questioning Arcs yet. I mean, he's earned the benefit of the doubt at this point.
Yeah.
Um, Dude's been to the playoffs every single year and been to the finals 3 times, I think, and won one of them.
Yeah.
Won one of them. Um, yeah, Alex, it was the hottest of takes on USL Twitter this weekend.
Certainly the hottest take. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that was Kaler just trying to rile up the fan bases, and how much of that he actually believes. But if he believes it, I would love to hear his reasoning behind it, because maybe there's
Yeah.
something that I'm just not seeing.
Oh, what am I? I was going to bring up. Oh, yeah. I was going to bring up the. No, there we go.
Tim said it's good to make a hot take like that sometimes. Something that stupid will rally the team and supporters to the club. True. And then Allison coming in saying she does feel like it's a valid question. Interesting. So,
Yeah.
so Allison, in your mind, what about it exactly makes it a like valid question? Just so I can get your kind of your point of view on it. If they want to stay at or near the top of the table, it seems like they aren't on track for that. True, they are not on track for that at all. I mean, they have 2 matches played and they haven't scored a goal. So, um, I mean, that's fair. But I wonder also how much of that you have to give John Harkes a little bit of time in my mind. Now, if we reach like Soup said earlier, if we get to match 10, um, and then it's still going on, then yeah, 100% you start to question him. Um, but it might just be a little too early for that. And Allison also saying last year they didn't finish as well as they did the year before. Also true. And it's not the best trajectory. Also true. And Allison also saying, I'm not saying they should make the decision, but I can see why people might start thinking about it. That's fair. I mean, it's something you can start to kind of think about at this point. The only thing I disagree with is the trajectory thing, just because with Greenville, it's so hard to maintain that near excellence level. That I mean, they're still making the playoffs, and granted, that should be the floor for most teams. That should be your floor goal, is to make the playoffs, because half the field gets in.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you should be making the playoffs every year if you are as good of a team as you want to be. Um, Allison saying it's kind of parallel to the whole football coaching thing of firing the coaches that don't, quote, meet expectations, unquote. Fair. It's fair. Allison's like talking me into getting on the fire Harks train right now. I mean, I'd be fine with it, but and somewhere Geo just felt a disturbance in the force. I don't know. Tim's got three things here. There's too much turnover year to year in League One. You can't always take results from year to year. Greenville has been top part of the table for the whole of League One's existence. Sometimes you have a down year, and that's okay. Plus, you don't have to be top 2 for playoffs. About half the league makes it in. Get there and get hot. Give him time. Fair. Fair points. Just look at Tormenta last year. They were hot rolling into the playoffs, and we saw what they did. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, exactly half the teams right now make it in. So,
Yep.
Allison's not saying fire him. I can see why people would start wondering. I feel like even last year, some people were questioning Mims.
Oh, they were definitely questioning Mims. Yeah.
There was a few, but I think that was more to um, the run of form towards the last half of the season because we hadn't won a
Yeah.
match since, oh God, what was it? The last 2 months we didn't win a match.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months, something like that. Something insane. Which I mean, that's a big thing. And I mean, granted, we're talking it right now. We're talking Greenville's 2 matches into a season. It's not. Um, oh, thanks, Sean. September 3rd, and Sean and Tim both. September 3rd was the last win for
Yeah.
Union Omaha.
There was a big hangover from the US Open Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Once I mean, even heading into SKC, a lot of fans were saying, oh man, I don't know, man. Their current form is not going to be able to carry them to victory over SKC. Yeah, it
And
was a miracle goal.
yeah. Well, I mean, also too, we got to really put the Open Cup run in perspective too. I mean, like, yes, Omaha beat 2 MLS teams, but they didn't beat 2 100% full strength first team MLS sides. Granted, the the bench should be beating a third division team, so it doesn't really take that much away. But we also saw what happened when a not particularly great Sporting Kansas City team played their 100% starters minus Tim Melia not being in goal.
Mhm.
You know, so you got to put that into perspective. But yes, definitely, and you have to always take your league form over any of your cup run form because the cup run is just, especially for a third division side, if you get into the round of 32 or the round of 16, what more can you really ask of a third division side? That's a lot of competition to be going in.
Mhm.
And I mean, it makes you money and everything like that, but I'd much rather win the league every year than make open cup runs every single year.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, Sean. Yeah, if you're including preseason, yeah, 9 owls have scored this year. Yeah, and that was a good preseason for Union Omaha too. There were a lot of good things happening there.
Give me 1 second. I gotta let the dog out. She's yipping at me. I'll be right back.
Cool. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, because I think we saw Gallardo, Mesa, Heel, Mueller, Steinwasser. Yeah, those are. Yeah, that's a lot of. So Sean's throwing out some of the names that are included into the preseason goals scored by Union Omaha, and they had a very offensively productive preseason. So it was highly motivating to see them have that kind of form move into the regular season. Um, they kind of dipped a little bit against Ford Madison, but they picked up form since then. Sean goes on to say, Soup Loops comes in and says, "I hate all those MLS people that say that they played their bench or whatever. All those guys on the team that have MLS contracts, and if they are truly first division, they should all be better." Yeah, I agree. Um, you saw a lot of weakness involved with those MLS clubs when they were playing their bench players or even their some of their reserve players that they were having coming in. So to have the elitists come in and say that MLS is light years beyond USL or any of the other lower division teams, it's I wouldn't say light years. They're obviously ahead, but they're not that far ahead. They're always susceptible to upsets, and we're seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it last year. We're going to see it again this year.
Yeah, just catching up with the chat here. Sean, yeah, that formatting did not turn well for you on that one. Uh, Fair.
As far as the Open Cup draw process, so Tim asked, since we're talking about it, what are your thoughts on the Open Cup draw? Not just the League One matchups, but the process as well. I'm not a fan of it at all. I I 100% agree with everybody out there who has been saying that lower divisions should be hosting. I completely agree. In the first round where MLS clubs come into to play, they should be on the road. I don't care. I know that they have more money that they can put into the bid, which automatically gives them a chance to host. But no, they should be on the road. And to see as many MLS clubs as we saw get the hosting, um, opportunity for the third round, that's complete BS.
Yeah, and that seems to be pretty much the consensus with everybody in here as well. I mean, it. I wouldn't say Sean saying it's shady and rigged too, or at least suspicious. Mm, I wouldn't go as far as to say rigged, but it probably favors MLS clubs. Um, which you also kind of have to look at it as like the financial decisions going into it too, because I mean, not having MLS play each other in the first 1 to 2 rounds, like Sean said, is that's weird. But they're gonna want the big, quote unquote, big market teams to make it. But the big market teams don't start showing up until the last 2 rounds. So whereas teams like we saw it last year with what Sacramento, what was it, like 10, 11,000 for damn near every match, especially
Mhm.
towards those later rounds. I mean, they're going to sell it out because it means more to these lower division sides if you beat an
Mhm.
MLS team. So, um, but the draw is weird. They do it in such a backwards roundabout way of just
So, in defense of the U.S. soccer, protocol for this, you didn't see any League One teams play each other in the second round, and you don't see any championship teams playing each other in the second round as well. So, I mean, there is that element as well. They try to, I mean, that's why you saw Greenville travel across the country to Phoenix, and
right.
that's why you saw Tormenta playing Rio Grande Valley, just because they didn't want to have those potential matchups. Um, I will also say this. I don't know if you guys are going to agree with this, but I'm just going to say it. I think the fact that you have to submit thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars just to host is utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everyone should be on the same playing field, um, and given the same opportunity to host. I know that I was just saying that the lower league team should host. I don't even think there should be a monetary element to the decision to host. You're a team, you're in the tournament, you're going to draw, um, as if you're just as valuable as another team.
Mm-hmm.
If you are doing a financial compensation element to the hosting rights, then that's when I think that MLS should play on the road. Um, I just think it's bullshit that US soccer is just finding another way to, ask for more money. You hear it all the time from kids that are wanting to play soccer competitively and go into development academies, but they cost so much money, so they they don't go anywhere. We got to start doing better about developing our talent and bringing them up and encouraging kids to come up into development academies and to um, come up into a competitive nature where it's not about money, it's about playing and it's about the game. So I don't know. That's just my mini rant there.
No, I completely agree. And I mean, some of that submitting the money for hosting rights is making sure you have the funds available because don't they use that money for the hosting as part of travel compensation for the opposing team?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, US Soccer has enough money to front that cost. They don't want to, but they can. They just choose not
Yeah.
to. And I mean, you know what? You're making it regional anyway. It's like the team can't take a bus, which I'm sure is cheaper than a chartered flight from Kansas City to Omaha, let's just say, or St. Louis to Omaha. Like, you can bus the 6 hours from St. Louis to Omaha to make that game.
You're never going to see an MLS team hop on a bus for that many hours, though. That's
Well,
never going to happen.
well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be up to a third division side to pay for an MLS team to come out and play. Like,
Yeah.
it's beyond stupid. They're not even in the same stratosphere of finances.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Third division sides are not even a 16th of the payroll of a fucking MLS side.
Yep.
And they'd make it back in sales anyway if the team was any good. So, because once you get the playoffs for MLS, I'm sure those tickets are extravagantly expensive too. So,
Yeah.
it's weird. Sean saying clarifying that his comment about it being rigged is from last year, Omaha almost playing Madison, and Omaha's new coach playing his former club in the first round, and then the next round playing the MLS club where your former assistant is the head coach of the 2 side, which is the side you will probably be playing. I added that last part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think I said that when that first draw came out on the show. I don't remember if it was one of our reaction shows or if it was one of our weekly shows. A little suspicious. And there's more. It's more than that too, though. It like a lot of those first rounds, and especially now too. You see like, what is it? There's oh fuck, it's in Florida. I don't remember the teams. I think it's the Miami FC and another one of the Florida teams are playing, and it's like a derby. It's like, and you're,
the Miami FC and Enter Miami?
I think so, yeah. And I think that happened last year too. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little strange. Granted, I understand it's geographical, but how does it keep happening this way? It's weird.
Yeah.
Tim saying, I don't get why they have the envelopes, the BS shuffle, and the convoluted draw style where you take teams out that can't host, then put them back in. Just draw if they can't host, they get away one. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. No, we should do it like how they do draws for like Champions League, man. Balls inside, and you let a third party do it, not the fucking pro referees.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year it was just the last draw of the round. They had fans of both clubs there doing the draw.
Yeah.
And I think they switched because wasn't it for the round of 8? They switched and it was the guys from Football Americas did the draw and they switched it to the actual balls.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim saying even in the European Champions League, if they draw 2 EPL teams together, that team goes to another group.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, and for some reason US Soccer wants to make it difficult and then have these conversations. Half of me thinks it's kind of like a Kaler situation with the Harks tweet. Do they just want it so that people are talking about the Open Cup more because everybody thinks the draw is fucking stupid? Who knows? 'Cause, I mean, sometimes you got to say stuff just to rile people up, but man, it's sketch at best, I'll say.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, but oh well.
David Applegate never needs to step in front of a camera again.
That's true. Yeah.
A little awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching it without sound too, and it was awkward.
Well, don't watch it with sound. I'll give you that suggestion.
Well, yeah, and that's so I'm watching it without sound, so I don't hear that Omaha didn't put in a bid to host. So I'm like sitting there, like, okay, okay, all right, Omaha, you can get a home match, and we'll get SKC. It'll be perfect. And then see them two come up as your home sides. It's like, okay, all right, that's cool. We can still go to Kansas City again. That'll be fine. Like, fuck. Instead of a 2 hour drive, it's a 6 hour drive. Fuck,
Yeah.
man. That sucks. But I mean, it'll be interesting. I guess it just depends on what side St. Louis brings in for the Omaha match.
Yeah. Just please, just no back passes for St. Louis. Just got to run that through Union Omaha's defense. Just no back passes.
Well, you can probably back pass just fine. You just actually have to pay attention to what you're doing, and just not run through
Yeah.
the motions.
Yeah.
Seems to be some of the first few weeks. It was just going through the motions.
MLS handed them those first couple victories. We cannot hand them a victory in the Open Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to make it as far as we can in the Open Cup, but I would also much rather win the league.
Yeah.
So if winning the league means we bow out of the Open Cup, okay.
Sean, you're okay with St. Louis scoring
Oh my
on Union
gosh.
Omaha?
Oh my gosh. What is this blasphemy? So
No.
it's true, Allison. He did say
That's true.
scoring, not winning.
Yeah. True.
And Soup saying, I'm excited to play an MLS team again, see if we can get some of those Omaha fresh from a championship vibes.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. They're going to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a fun one.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. And then Richmond's going to DC United.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ford Madison, if they win, are going to go to Chicago. Oh, and Hailstorm is going to Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some matchups. I'm trying to think of some of the others.
Yeah, they did the whole draw on my anniversary, so I was just waiting for the for the Midwest region. I was just sitting there at sushi, and I was like looking. It's like, okay, not the Midwest region. Okay, not watching. So, well, we're sitting at about an hour. I know, Rich, you got some stuff to do, so you want to give everybody kind of a last call, maybe a few extra minutes here to get
Yeah,
a
that's fine.
yeah. We'll give you guys like let's say like 5 minutes to get in any last questions or anything you wanna ask, and then we'll wrap this one up.
And while we're waiting for all that to happen, I do want to apologize to everybody for the call-in shows that did not happen. That was entirely my fault. I'll give you guys a little bit of information about what's been going on. Since I've been doing a lot of writing work for various outlets. It's been consuming a lot of my time, and then I'm also studying for an entrance exam for a program that starts in the fall. So that exam is tomorrow. Um, so that's another reason why I'm drinking water. I don't want to get drunk or wake up hungover tomorrow. So um, trying to make better decisions, but at the same time have not been sleeping a whole lot lately. But trying to get better on that front. Um, I a little bit of self promotion here. I do have some projects in the work. I know that there's one. I have an article that may be coming out next week. Still need to check with the editor on that one. And then I have an interview on Wednesday, potentially Wednesday. So I'm hoping that the article will come out the following, so a week from tomorrow. and then possibly some very exciting news for me on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, depending on if I get that email or not. So some big things are in the works. You're going to see some more material coming from me in various outlets, and it's going to be it's going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully, all that stuff comes to fruition, but we'll see. But so that's the reason why we missed those other call-in shows. I made the mistake of trying to take a quick nap before the shows, and then I slept through the alarm, and that was completely my fault. So sorry, everybody.
It happens. It's one of those things too. They can get our listeners can get our opinions on another time too. And if there's anything that anybody ever wants to know too between the live shows, you have both of our Twitter handles up here too. So
Yeah.
you guys can get at us and we'll do our best to let you know what we're thinking. Um,
Yep. And
but yeah,
Tim, since you're not on Twitter, you can reach out to Brian and I on Discord.
hmm
Yep.
yeah, or the Discord. Yeah, so the Discord goes through my phone too. So you guys ever need anything or want to know anything, just hit us up there. I'm going to try to get better at posting more in the Discord. Um, just finding time to get the my thoughts onto Discord instead of Twitter, because Twitter's just a lot quicker when that's what I'm looking at most of the time. But
Yeah. And for people who didn't know this, congratulations to Tim is in order because he got his media pass approved for Union Omaha. So um, some exciting
congrats.
stuff happening there too.
Tim says I've never not been able to get a hold of you.
Very true.
Right, guys. Well, I think that's probably about good. We got about a minute here, so if you type fast, we might be able to get one in. But otherwise, we do have our live show on our Wednesday. We'll be breaking down this week's action a little bit more in depth. I've got some tape to watch and stuff like that, so I'll actually know what I'm talking about instead of just going off of League One's replays, which don't show the full story. I also wanted to bring up the highway robbery of that no penalty call for Greenville as well, but
Yeah.
we will get to that for sure on Wednesday. And Rich is getting some good luck vibes from both Tim and Alex.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and for myself as well. Good luck. So you'll do fine. I got faith in you.
Thanks.
And Sean on Twitter, uh, putting this is what I mean when I say I'm okay with St. Louis scoring, and it was an own goal. So he scored an own
Oh,
goal.
okay. All right.
That
All
makes more
right.
sense. Now you're
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sean, for providing that information because I did not know where you were going with that. Gotcha.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us tonight. So we appreciate you tuning in, and like I said, check back on Wednesday night. We'll have the live show and everything, and we'll go over everything and get you ready for next week's matches.
Appreciate you guys joining in. So thanks for all the questions, comments, Chip for calling in. So yeah, look forward to seeing you guys again on Wednesday night, and we'll be throwing a ton of information at you. That's gonna be a fun one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.